Hey guys, it's a beautiful morning out. We're getting ready to go to class right now. Brooklyn has a class, so it's his first time going. And hopefully he'll enjoy it. I'm not going to say what it is because he's listening to me right now. Crazy until we get there. So it's pretty early. Class starts at 9. It's 8:45 right now, so we're early. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm always excited when we're early. But
fingers together, hands open. Fingers together, hands open. Riley, is that you?
Karate class that we signed up for Brooklyn
2 5-minute strikes.
next week.
3,
Jordan.
5. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hi guys, just left karate and now we're heading home. Devon had to do some work for track and field, so he went to do that, and now I'm heading home with Winter and Brooklyn, getting ready to braid Winter's hair and eat a mid-morning snack. So we're about to do that. Karate was it was okay. I'm probably not gonna just share which karate studio it was, just because I'm not sure if I like it yet. I don't know, it's making me feel a little bit uneasy, but this is just a unlimited class to like try out this studio. From the first class, I am not confident that we will continue with this studio after we finish our unlimited mini classes that we paid for. But we'll see. We'll see. Not sure. We will see though. But it was good to see. Brooklyn said he really enjoyed the class, right, Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you like best about it? You gotta talk loud, okay?
To pick friends.
To pick friends. That's cool. Do you remember your friends' names?
No,
She didn't tell you?
She told me, but she didn't say it loud enough.
She didn't tell you say it loud enough? Okay. Well, maybe next time you go, you'll see her again and you can find out what her name is, okay? Oh, but yeah, we had Jordan's at his dad, so he'll join the martial arts class next week, which I'm sure he'll be excited about. What's the matter, Milo? You want to join the martial arts class too?
But you're too little.
He is. But so yeah, like I was saying, yeah, we'll just see about this. But it is just such a nice day. I don't know what the temperature is. The temperature is 55 degrees outside right now, which is still cold to me because I like 70 degrees and above. But hey, it is better than negative temps. It is better than snow. And the sun is shining, which always makes me feel great. I don't know, some people, the sun wakes them up, but to me, the sun makes me sleepy. So if I sit in the sun, I could just fall asleep. Oh. May head to my mom's later because she may be cooking. And I think she cooked yesterday, actually. We are home now. Take these kids out the car and in the house to eat something, because all we had was peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that we just scarfed it down on the way to karate. And I am starving. So I usually make a three layer peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I didn't have time, so I only made a 2-layer.
What's the R for?
What's the R? Where?
Yeah, when you put the thing up.
Where?
Right there, on the lever.
Oh, here? That's reverse. Reverse means goes backward. And then the P is for park, so the car doesn't move. And then I go down here to drive.
What did you go down to drive?
This one.
Oh. It keeps me forever. And what if the handle breaks?
What if the handle breaks? Then you need to get a new car or get it fixed.
Nah.
I don't think the handle breaks very often though, Brooklyn.
Take a boo thing, take a boo thing.
Show everybody your karate outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my sharp boy. All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye. Hey guys. It is a rainy, gloomy morning today. I'm getting ready to head to church before the family because I have to sing on worship team, and I need to be there for first service and second service, so it is very early and I'm headed there. Last night was pretty uneventful. I'm just excited for today because there's nothing on our schedule. Yesterday we had karate with Brooklyn, then Devon had to go to a track meet to promote his business. Oh, there's a huge goose in the road. Come on, goosey. Gotta get out the way. They're not even scared. They didn't even move. Anyways, yeah, he went to a track meet to promote his business. And then at 1:30, he had a training session with a new client. So I felt like he was gone all day. But it's really gloomy today compared to how beautifully bright it was yesterday. But I'm not gonna let the weather get me down because my joy does not come from the weather. It comes from the Lord. So, actually, I'm excited to sing this morning. Some days you just gotta sing. And I just want to sing everything. And I actually do sing everything at home. If you are with me a lot, my husband knows I sing everything. My kids know I sing everything. Like, dinner is ready. Like, sing everything. And now my kids are starting to do the same thing. But hey, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I guess. Oh, I'm starving. I should have got some breakfast, but I didn't. And I shouldn't go through McDonald's drive-thru for a steak McMuffin with extra breakfast sauce and extra onions and extra steak and extra cheese. But I think I'm going to because I love that breakfast sandwich, especially with extra breakfast sauce. It's my favorite breakfast sandwich. It makes me happy. It really does. Extra breakfast. You have to get it with extra breakfast sauce. Any breakfast sandwich you get, any muffin, I think, does the breakfast sauce go on? I think the breakfast sauce goes to go on bagels too, but I don't really like bagels that much from McDonald's. It's all about soft, beautiful, fresh muffins and extra breakfast sauce. It's just wonderful. Just a wonderful creation. And I thank McDonald's for that. It's really great. Right. McDonald's are here. Oh, they have 2 Big Macs for $5. I like Big Macs. I like McDonald's in general. I like Wendy's too, but Wendy's is not always readily available. McDonald's is, I don't even think I'm gonna get my steak bagel just because. Oops, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Good morning, thank you to the McDonald's. What can I get for you this morning?
Can I get a sausage McMuffin, and can I get breakfast sauce on that sausage McMuffin? I think I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for McDonald's because I worked there for 4 years. I was a manager for 2, crew for 2, and like, I took my job seriously. I worked there from 15 to 19, or maybe not quite as long. Maybe 3.5 years. I'm not sure. Let me see. 15. Yeah, 4 years. 15 to 18. Because as soon as I turned 15, I got a job there. And it was one of the highlights of my life. It really was. I really enjoyed the skills that I learned there. People try to, you know, knock McDonald's. Oh, you're working at, but I learned a ton of stuff from working there and from being a manager and having that responsibility. So it was a good time. Breakfast sauce. Me and Devon have been talking about purchasing a second vehicle because we only have one vehicle. Back in 2014, I got into a really bad car accident, and I have a hairline fracture on my hip, which thank God was the only thing that was wrong, which was really painful. Even though they're like, this is only a hairline fracture, I'm like, well, it feels like my whole hip is broken. But anyways, from then on, we've only had one car. We never repurchased another car. We took because that car was paid in full, so we took the money that the insurance provided us for the car being totaled, and we put it and applied it to student loans, because if you know us, we're doing Dave Ramsey's program, pay off all our debt, get our whole financial life in order, which has been a great journey. Like, I can say that I worry about money like 2% of my life. Like, I don't, and it's not even worry, it's just like, that's planning, that 2%. Okay, this is what we're gonna do with our money. So I really enjoy that program. It has allowed a lot of freedom. So we've been talking about getting another vehicle, just to make things a little bit easier, but I'm not sure what we want to get. I just know that I am never getting in a little car again. The car accident I was in a Saturn Ion, and it's by the grace of God that I'm still alive, literally. I mean, I don't know, I'm not that great with editing yet, but if I can get my husband to help me insert the pictures from my car accident into the video, every time I look at it, it brings me to tears, because like, death was knocking on the door, seriously. And I really don't talk about it that much, actually, because I feel like it's the past and such. These people have solar panels on their house. I don't see that much in Buffalo. Like, it's they have huge solar panels on their house. Okay, anyways, I don't really talk about it that much. Yes, it affected my life, but it doesn't, I guess the phrase I'm looking for is, like, it doesn't define me. It doesn't define who I am, that car accident. So yes, it was a bad time, but it was a snippet in a long, like, film of my life, if I'm saying that phrase right. But when I do think about it, the moment, because I was hit twice, one by, like, a Jeep, my Saturn Iron. If you know what a Saturn Iron is, super small. And then I was pushed into oncoming traffic in the opposite lane, and I was hit by a utility van again. And, like, my kids saw everything. They were out in the front yard screaming, "Mommy!" I could hear them. I could hear my husband screaming because everybody was playing in the front yard. I was not parked, but I was at a full stop with my left signal on to turn into my driveway, and there was nowhere I could go. I saw the guy. I'm looking in my rearview mirror. I could see he's coming full speed. I'm like, "Are you gonna stop? Are you gonna stop? Are you gonna stop?" I'm right here. Smashes into me. Obviously my seatbelt locked, and then when he pushed me into oncoming traffic, I'm not sure when my seat broke. My actual driver's side seat broke. I don't know if it broke after I went forward and came back and it broke, or if when the utility van hit me, the seat broke. But I was laying flat backwards, and I just kind of, bumped into the side of the vehicle. And I was 5 months pregnant, or 19 weeks pregnant. I was 19 weeks pregnant. I was 19 weeks pregnant with Milo at the time. I was so worried about my little baby. I was so worried. And when the doctor came in and did a sonogram and all that, everything looked to be fine, and he's fine today. And I just thank God so much, because that was a pretty, wait, if I haven't inserted the pictures now. Already, I'm gonna try to figure out some way to get them up there or insert it into the video. But those pictures, every time I look at them, I'm like, this is crazy. They cut me out with like the jaws of life, even though I'm super stubborn and was like, I can get out of this car. And they're like, no, ma'am, you need a backboard. You're not walking anywhere. We're putting a neck brace on you. And if anybody knows me, I'm like, listen, I'm gonna get out of this car. And they're like, ma'am, if you get out of this car, don't get out of the car. But yeah, it was a scary time, especially for my kids. They saw both vehicles strike me. Jordan thought I was just as good as dead, and I could see him, Mommy, screaming. He couldn't come near the vehicle. And Devon screaming, she's pregnant, she's pregnant. That was just a really scary time. Oh my goodness. A really scary time. Yeah. Alright, well, I am at church. I always feel weird about vlogging at church just because it's church and I don't know. No, who wants to be like, oh, your video went, oh yeah, put me on there. Nobody does that, so I think I would feel weird if somebody was like, oh my gosh, Rachel, I'm vlogging and I got some footage of you and it'll be up soon. Like, what? No, take it down. So I will see you guys either in between first and second service when my family is supposed to arrive, the rest of my family, or after church when we have nothing on our schedule to do, which is really good. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye. Now church is over and we are headed home. I thought that Devon didn't have to work tonight, but I didn't check our calendar and he does. So we both have iPhones and we have a shared calendar that we put all of our family things on because sometimes it's hard to keep track of everything that needs to be done, doctor's appointments, other things that we just want to do. If I want to go out with a friend or if he wants to hang out with one of his friends, that we talk to each other about it and then put it on our shared calendar so that neither one of us forgets that the other has planned something. Because usually if you plan something, if I plan to hang out with my friends, I'll remember it, but he won't. And if he plans to hang out with, I certainly will not remember that he planned to hang out with his friends. So that's just how another line of communication we try to use to avoid the misunderstandings of I thought you were and you never told me. So that's been working pretty well for us. And I'll probably doing the same things as always: school planning, meal planning, trying to figure out what groceries I want to buy at the end of this week. I don't know, we might wait 2 more weeks to buy groceries, which not really sure. I just gotta see what we need. We may need to go get at least milk to carry us over for the next 2 weeks. But yeah, meal planning, school planning, laundry, always the same things on the to-do list. I think I might need to stop at Dollar General and get hangers because we just keep getting more and more and more and more clothing in our house and the hangers seem to be disappearing. So I need to go and get those hangers. Pant hangers are what we lack the most. I, for whatever reason, a little OCD about weird things, And I don't like to hang up pants on a regular hanger. I like the clips that you get in the store. So either when we buy pants that are on pant hangers, I ask to keep the hangers, or I will go to Dollar General and I will purchase hangers, pant hangers. And for the kids, for the small kids hangers, they actually have clips. Package of 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 4 sets of clips for $1. So I will buy that and add it onto the kids size hangers for their pants. And I need to get that going for shorts, because I have been putting shorts in a drawer, and I just feel like that is not, when you don't see it, you don't wear it. So yeah, if you don't see it, you don't wear it. And I don't like to have things with tags get too small for my kids, and I like to cycle through the clothes in a manner that allows the least minimal damage to the clothing. So what I mean by that is I organize the closet, and when the kids put things in the dirty clothes, those items go to the back of the closet. And I don't pick it out again until we run through all the clothes that are in the front. That, to me, stretches the life of the clothing for each child, because I save everything that I have. I don't know how many bins I have in the basement. I want to say between, I don't know, 11 and 15 30-gallon bins of clothes, all organized by size 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months, all organized all the way up to Jordan's age. I buy things that are too big for them if I find them on sale, and then I'll just put them in. I have a labeled too big bin that really only applies to Winter and Jordan, because Winter doesn't have an older sister and Jordan is the oldest. So the too big items really go in there for them too, for me to just go and get to get their things when I notice that things are getting too small. Jordan lately, I've been putting, well, I'll put the next size in their closet. So Jordan's right now is in a 10-12. No, yeah, he's in a 10-12, but he's kind of inching towards 12-14. So the back of his closet all has 12-14 in it, and anything that's size 14, 16 and up is in the too big bin in the basement. And the same for Winter. I pull out a year's worth of clothes. So Winter is 3, but she wears size 4 clothing. So I have size 4 and size 5 out in her closet, so that I don't miss anything, or I don't go buy something that she already has. And then what do I do for shoes? I have a bookshelf in the basement that has everybody's shoes, old shoes on it, with like stickers on the back that show the size, so we don't have to look at the flap. And I got that from a Farmhouse Full Mom, which I really like watching her YouTube videos. But yeah, so I don't remember how I got into talking about this, but organization is key when you have more than one child. I don't remember doing any of this when Jordan was an only child, and he was an only child for 4 years. So I did not save any of his clothes. I did not make sure that there was minimal damage to his clothing. And I'm a little OCD with the rotation. I even think I do it with my clothes. Yeah, I put all the things I've worn, put it to the back of my closet so I don't touch it again. And I try to wear all the things in the front of my closet. It's just, I don't know, this weird cycle that I like to do. I still haven't gotten my sushi. I wanted to go to my mom's house, but just not gonna go, because we spend ample amount of hours there, and then we get back to our house and it's a disaster. She doesn't like to come to our house because she thinks it's too far when it's 15 minutes away from her house. It's kind of frustrating, because to take all of our kids and stuff to her house is just sometimes a lot. I'd rather just be at home where we could clean up the mess, rather than leave the mess, go to her house, help clean up the mess that they made at her house, and then come back at home and our house is still in a mess. So we're just gonna go home rather than get caught up in sitting at her house, because we just sit around, laugh and joke for hours, and then before you know it, it's midnight and I gotta work in the morning, and so does Ron. I'm tired. I took a nap yesterday, which was amazing, but the kids didn't let it last that long, which I usually can sleep through their wildness. I usually can, but for some reason yesterday I didn't, and I kept getting up and talking to them. I think I sent Winter and Brooklyn to the room because they kept bickering over and over, hitting each other with things. And then Milo, he wasn't sure, he was tired, but he wasn't sure if he was tired, even though I knew that he was tired. And he would come, wake me up, and put his hands up for me to pick him up. So I'd pick him up and lay him on me. I would fall back asleep, and then he would wriggle off me before I would wake up, and then before I know it, he was waking me up again to get back on my lap. So that kept happening, but it wasn't too annoying. I did get a pretty good stretch without interruptions. And then close towards the end, where Winter and Brooklyn started to fight with each other, and Milo just wasn't sure if he wanted to lay down or get up. Ugh, I don't know what we have planned this week. Devon's working a little bit or less at his second job, which is really nice. And it's been a really long time that he's worked a second job, so I'm excited for him to be cutting his hours back there, and for just to plan some things in the evening, because I usually don't plan anything in the evening because he's not always with us. He's always working hard, but he will be with us more in the evening, so that's really nice to plan things to do. And then we're going to be going into the New York City area or Pennsylvania, or I'm not even sure. My cousin is having her third child, her first boy. I think she said it was a boy. In September she's due, so we're going to go down to the New York City. I don't remember where she lives. She gave me her address, but it's either Pennsylvania or New York City or New Jersey, one of those three places, and I'll get that nailed down before we start traveling. So I'm planning a trip there with my family. Hopefully my mom can join us and my brother to go, because we haven't, the last time I saw her is at Winter's baby shower, and that was 3+ years ago, because Winter is now 3 going on 4. Should be 4 in November. Not going on 4, but I mean, the time flies by so fast. She's basically pretty close to being 4 already. Months are, I don't know, nothing. So I'm excited to be planning that out. Finding a house to rent, a hotel or house, but usually a house is cheaper, and we have a kitchen, and just the piece of like not being in a small room with all of us. Usually there's a couple bedrooms, a lot of sleeping options, so probably gonna lean towards renting a house, and we'll see when I start getting those plans together what house I'm gonna rent and those things. But I'm excited to be doing that, going on this cruise for the family reunion. I know it's like a year away, but like I said, months go by quickly, and before you know it, it'll be here and we'll be cruising. I've never been on a cruise before. I've actually never taken a vacation, mostly because by the time I started to want to take a vacation, Devon and I had discovered that we had racked up a lot of debt, and we had discovered Dave Ramsey's program, and we decided that we weren't going to do vacations in the middle of getting out of it. We do weekend trips to New York City and stuff like that, because that's where my dad lives in New York City, and Devon's parents live in New York City. He's got a lot of family in New York City, and a lot of times when things are happening, everybody meets in New York City. So we'll go and do that. there, which those are not very costly, and those are weekend trips. Those are not, week long or something like that. And we can really keep our eye on what the cost is when we go. So yeah, I've never been on a vacation with like sand between my toes and those things. I feel like I've only been to, obviously I live in New York State. I've been through Pennsylvania. I haven't really spent much time in Pennsylvania. I've been to Ohio, like Cedar Point in Ohio. New Jersey I've been to. And I think that's it. And there's a whole United States of America to explore. So I'm excited that we're getting close to the end of our baby step 2 in our journey, and we can start adding those types of trips to our budget, and not feeling guilty when the credit card bill follows you home after the vacation. I'm not for that. I don't want to vacation on a credit card and then get home and be like, oh my gosh, what did we buy? Why did we spend this? Type thing. I like spending my own money. I watch it more closely. I spend less of it. I don't buy unnecessary things. And then, me and Devon, we talk through every purchase together, which is great because I don't have to worry that he's going to go out and deplete or buy something on a credit card thinking it's not going to affect us when it turns out that, it does. Or same for me. I don't go out and buy large purchases without his knowledge. And we try to just make sure that we respect each other in that way, because money fights and money problems are the #1 cause of divorce in the U.S. So with Dave Ramsey's program, I can't explain the peace that brings, and we don't have to worry about that, and we can argue about other things. I mean, if we're going to argue, we don't really argue that much, and it's not really ever an argument, because if anybody knows Devon, he doesn't really argue. He is very quiet and says what he thinks, and his voice is very low. He doesn't really get excited when we're having a disagreement. So when we do have disagreements, they're not about money. That's for sure. And money is a very emotional thing. We all work hard for the money that we have. And I'm just happy that we can be on the same page and I don't have to worry about him squandering our money or me squandering our money and then having to hide stuff from him of purchases that I bought or whatnot. So that is a super strong point in our marriage. There's probably other weaknesses in other places, but other places aren't the #1 cause of divorce. So I'm excited that we have that in order, and I'm excited for what having a handle on our money and having a plan for our money does for our future. As long as we can, stay on that track. I think maybe instead of doing vlogs only of just our family, I might do some car vlogs, because these ones are kind of long to add to our weekly, what we're doing, what the kids are doing, what school assignments we're working on type vlogs. These ones are too long to add in there, and I don't know. You guys leave me comments, let me know what's too long, what's too short, how you would like it better, I guess. But I think I might just start doing like car rants or something like that. Oh man, I should have parked in the garage. Okay, let me just, hopefully I don't run into my husband because he's following me. Let me just hurry up. Okay. We had to drive 2 cars because I had to sing, and usually what we used to do when we were borrowing this car from a friend of ours from church who has graciously allowed us to borrow their car for a few months. But we would all get up and go to church at 7 in the morning, even though I was the only one that had to be there when I sang. And that was just kind of frustrating because I was always late because I wouldn't get up on time. Really is the true story. I wouldn't get up on time with enough time for everyone to get ready. In a reasonable manner. I'd get up at we had to be to church at 7:30, so I'd get up at 6:45 and say, everybody needs to be ready in 15 minutes. And then I wouldn't move fast, and the kids wouldn't move fast, which makes sense. And so, yeah. So now that we are borrowing this car for this time being, I was able to go to church early and avoid waking everybody up at the crack of dawn. But I'm home now, so I will talk to you guys a little bit later.